This might be a little controversial, but I don't always book my shore excursions through the cruise line. And sometimes, is it even worth it? Hey y'all, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Tiffany with TP's Travels, and in this video, I'm gonna share with you a debated topic on booking through the cruise line or booking your shore excursions through a third-party vendor.
As I am sitting here editing the video right now, I just realized that my head is cut off in the video through the entire thing. And since it is the weekend right now, as I am recording this, I didn't really feel like re-recording the entire thing. So hope you don't mind watching the video with the top of my head cut off. I hope you still enjoy it.
Now let's be honest, cruise lines really do offer a great perk of booking through them for your shore excursions, which is the fact that they will not leave you if your shore excursion is late. And that is the #1 reason that most people will book their shore excursions through their cruise line. So for instance, if you book your shore excursion through your cruise line and that shore excursion comes back late, like 45 minutes to an hour, you don't have to wait. The cruise ship is going to wait for you because you booked it through them. And that is security for many people, definitely for me, and I'm going to explain to you why. Now, when do I choose to book through the cruise line and when do I choose to book through a third party such as Viator or TripAdvisor? Now, I do want to let you know that this video is not sponsored by Viator or TripAdvisor, but I have booked with both a cruise line and Viator before, and I'm just giving you my experiences to help you out here. Now, when do I book through my cruise line versus when I choose to book through Viator? Well, I book through my cruise line when I'm going to take a shore excursion that's going to be far away. So for instance, when we were in Honduras, we did a shore excursion that was about 45 minutes into the island, and I was not going to risk trying to get back to the cruise ship on time. Luckily, I have never been late getting back to the ship, but unfortunately, I have seen people late coming back on a cruise line shore excursion, and unfortunately, through either a third party or just out on their own, I have seen people left at the cruise port before. If you're not back on time, the cruise ship will leave you. So that is a big security right there. And that is why I will not book my shore excursions through Viator if I'm going too far away. I do stick with the cruise line if I'm going to travel off too far away from the cruise port. So I don't risk it and make sure that I do get back in time. Now, if you're still wondering, why would I even book through Viator or TripAdvisor, or maybe even Get Your Guide? That's another great reputable third-party company as well. They do offer some great perks, and I'm going to share with you why I choose to book through them and when I book through them. Now, TripAdvisor, I'm mentioning them a lot because they have been around for a while, and chances are if you have ever Googled what to do in Nassau or what to do in Austin, Texas, wherever you're going, most likely TripAdvisor is going to come up in that Google search there. You're going to find that in your search because they've been around for a while. They'll share with you different itineraries, things that you can do, and they offer different shore excursions as well. So what can you find that is a little different and a benefit with booking through Viator or TripAdvisor? Well, my favorite is cheaper shore excursions. They're almost always cheaper. And if you like the opportunities to find local cultural excursions, they tend to have a little bit more of those than what the cruise line will offer. For instance, when we were in Cozumel, we did a mixology class. Now, that was a lot of fun, even though we were mixing drinks at 9 o'clock in the morning. But we did book that through Viator, and it was right there at the cruise port. I think it was like, they took us on a little shuttle, but I think it was like a 5-minute walk from the cruise port. I'm okay with walking 5 minutes back to the cruise port when it's over like 3 hours before we have to leave. I think I can handle that. So I wasn't worried about getting back to the cruise port in enough time. So I saved some money by booking through them and had a lot of fun that morning. Plus, another perk, if you are somebody who likes to go on any kind of group tours or anything like that, a lot of your third-party tours are going to be smaller than what you'll find on the cruise line. So when we did our mixology class, it was only 10 people and it was a good bit of the morning. So it was a lot of fun. We got to make our drinks. Then we took a break and watched the dolphins. And then we went and made guacamole and took a break and ate guacamole together. So it was a lot of fun, and it becomes a little bit more intimate and personal if you like that kind of experience. And you can find a little bit more of those when you're booking through a third party. Now, another thing I noticed that when you are searching through on Viator, you will find different variations of shore excursions than what you would on the cruise line. For instance, one of the very first times that we went to Cozumel, we kept hearing people talking about Mr. Sancho's. and they were just, you know, ranting and raving, loving Mr. Sanchos. And I'm like, I don't see it anywhere, because I was on the cruise lines app and I couldn't find it. And I was like, well, we'll be back here soon. And I couldn't find it on there, so I did find out that it wasn't offered on the cruise line. It was offered through Viator, and that's how they were purchasing it and going. Now, I have not been to Cozumel since 24. Cozumel has not been on my itinerary for the 2025 cruising season, so if it is on a cruise lines app, let me know. Leave me a comment below. I would love to hear. Now, when should you not book through your cruise line and also not the third-party vendor? Well, I know that gets a little confusing, but this is where research comes in when you are going to certain cruise ports. So for instance, in my Amber Cove video, I mentioned that we were going to purchase a cabana and we were going to do it as a shore excursion through our cruise line. We chose not to. We chose that we were going to do a few other things while we were there at the port. But when we got there, we noticed that you could actually book the cabana at the port, and it was cheaper. So you didn't have to go through a third party or your cruise line's shore excursion app. We could have actually have booked it at the port. And now, yes, if you are really wanting that grand cabana suite or a particular cabana, it is probably better to book it through your cruise line, because then you know for certain that you'll have it, but you're going to save some money if you wait and you do it the day up and you get there to the port. Now, a few other things such as Costa Maya, if you go there, they have swimming with the dolphins. You can book that as an excursion through your cruise line, but you also can book it there at the cruise port when you get there. And so you don't have to go through a third party or through the cruise line. You can just pay them when you get there, and you can book your swimming with the dolphins there. So for me, I love booking any excursions that I'm going to do right here in the cruise port. There is a lot of cruise ports that you can do different types of excursions, such as walking tours, food tours, cultural tours, swimming with the dolphins, swimming with the stingrays. There's lots of different tours like that that are offered right here at the cruise port, or sometimes within a 5 or 10 minute walk. We did a beach excursion that was 5 minutes away. So there's lots of little things that you can do, and you will see those on your cruise line app, but you're going to save money if you book that through third-party excursion. And, you know, if you're already at the cruise port, you're not going to have to really worry about getting back, because a lot of these excursions, sometimes you can see the ship off in the distance. So you're right here, so you don't have to really worry about getting back to the cruise ship. Now, always, if I am booking through Viator, I make sure that I have plenty of buffer time to get back to the cruise ship. Now, yes, if I am right here at the cruise port, then I'm usually pretty good, but if I'm going to be 5, 10, 15 minutes down the road, I make sure that I'm going to be back. At least my thing is always 2 hours. 2 hours before we depart, because I do not want to be left behind anywhere, even if I'm in on an Alaskan cruise, and that's still America, but I don't want to be left in Juneau while my ship is headed off to Skagway. So you don't want to be left behind no matter where you are. Now, here are some things that some people don't realize about Viator or Get Your Guide or TripAdvisor. Some of these third-party reputable companies offer are going to be free cancellation. So yes, your cruise line will offer that, but also you can find that on Viator and TripAdvisor as well. And when you have to worry about that is usually like if it's hurricane season, or if you're headed into a tropical, any kind of a tropical storm or anything like that, especially here coming up in the next couple of months. We have been diverted a couple of ports before. Luckily, we haven't missed any shore excursions through those ports that we lost. But if you booked a shore excursion on a port that they are not going to be able to go on that itinerary at that time, your cruise line and your third-party vendor will refund you. So that is something you don't have to worry about. Now, if you're sitting here saying, nope, 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 I'm just going to book through my cruise line only with my shore excursion, that is fine, absolutely. But let me tell you another thing that I have experienced not too long ago and I really enjoyed is also Viator offers airport to cruise port transportation, and it is a little bit cheaper than some of those others. I'm not sure about some of the more popular ones in the area. I know GoPro in Orlando, it does the shuttles from the Orlando airport to Port Canaveral, but you can book a shuttle, or you can even book a private pickup at the airport to take you to the cruise port or even take you to your hotel. Now, I personally just don't like doing shuttles because when I leave the airport, I like to get in the car and head off straight away. That's usually why I do Ubers. Now, let me tell you, I live over here by Port Canaveral and I Uber back and forth to Orlando in the Port Canaveral area all the time. Now, if you're flying into Orlando, this is something I want you to just be aware of, and this is only Uber, not Lyft. I have not done Lyft in quite a while, and that's a story for another day. If you want to hear that story, I'm happy to tell it to you, but that's a story for another day. But Uber, it takes about an hour to get from the Orlando airport over to Port Canaveral. And you need to give yourself some buffer time sometimes, because we've had several times, not all the time, several times where we are looking for an Uber driver and they'll accept it and then they decline it. So I don't know if it's because they don't want to drive that hour and they just want to stay in the area. But just kind of keep that in mind. And like whenever I'm leaving my house and I need to Uber to the airport, I have to give myself some buffer time to make sure, that I, can wait another 20, 30 minutes on an Uber driver that is going to drive all the way out to Orlando for me. But when you are booking through Viator, you don't have to worry about that because you booked through them and they're going to be there waiting for you when you get off the airplane. So you don't have to go and find a driver and hope that they're going to accept it and wait for them to get there. They're going to be there waiting for you to take you over to the cruise port or your hotel. So that is a great perk right there. Now, there are some things you need to watch out for, which is basically scams. If you are choosing to book through a third party, this is why I'm mentioning reputable third-party companies such as Viator and TripAdvisor. Please make sure your third-party company is a reputable third-party company. Look to see if they've been around for a while. They have reviews. They have free cancellation policies. And also, never book through Facebook. Don't do a short excursion through Facebook. I did a video on this about a year ago where a lot of people booked a short excursion through a lady who said, hey, I'm going to be on this trip with you, on this cruise with you, and I'm booking this short excursion. Do you want to go? Let's go see the glacier. And they gave her money. And she was not there on the cruise. So don't do that. Don't book through a Facebook group. Don't do anything like that. Make sure you're booking through the company itself. Make sure you're only paying once. If they come back and say, oh, you need to pay another deposit or anything like that, no, don't do that. So make sure you're booking through a reputable third-party company. They have reviews, they've been around for a while, and they offer free cancellation policies. And don't book through Facebook. How do you like to book your short excursions? I would love to hear. Leave me a comment below. And if this was helpful for you at all, please give me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and do so. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.